Welcome back, adventurers, to Let's Play Steins, where, in the last episode, something truly ominous happened. During Dr. Nakabashi's lecture on time machines, Okabe Rintaro was interrupted by a young woman by the name of Makase Kurisu, who claimed that Rintaro was trying to tell her something 15 minutes prior to the lecture. As this was obvious nonsense, seeing as how Rintaro was with Mayuri collecting a metal upa on the 7th floor at the time of Kurisu's possible meeting, Rintaro clearly discarded this as a mere delusion of sorts. Unfortunately for Rintaro, not long after, Makase Kurisu was murdered, and to make matters worse, he was the first one who found her body lying at the end of a corridor. Who killed her and why are reasons for which we have no answers for. Could have been this mysterious organization we've heard Rintaro talking about so much over the past couple of episodes. Or it could have been somebody hiding inside the building prior to the lecture, but to be honest, we don't have any real clues. So anyway, after discovering her body, both Rintaro and Mayuri, or Mayushi as she coins herself, are now outside on the main streets of Akihabara. I have trouble pronouncing that name, and I apologize. My chest pounds, my breathing laboured from running down the stairs at full speed. Yeah, running down 8 flights of stairs at the breakneck speed is not advised. And also Mayuri is understandably concerned about Rintaro's current state. Mayuri doesn't seem to comprehend the situation. I guess it's because she didn't see the body. She's not even breathing hard. She looks slow, but she's actually pretty fast on her feet. Died is the understatement of the millennium, Rintaro. I take several deep breaths. The color of that blood still stains my brain. But I've calmed down a bit. Makase Kurisu is dead, and I don't know who the killer is. Perhaps we should alert the authorities? Well, it seems like a good idea. Sirens in the distance. I guess an ambulance will be here soon. Then the police will arrive, and this area will become a crime scene. But for now, the crowds milling through Akihabara have no idea what has happened. Everyone is going about their business as usual. The never-ending search for electronics, moe, which is part of anime culture here. A brief overview, and we're not going to, and we're just going to move on from that. Just another day in Akihabara. Why do I have trouble pronouncing that? I take my phone out of my pocket, perhaps out of reflex. I'm not sure what I plan to do with it. Oh, I know. My friend Daru. I'll tell him what's happened just now, since he knew about Makase Kurisu, seeing as how it was his article that allowed him to know who Makase Kurisu was to begin with. I suppose it might be disrespectful to the victim, but my adrenaline is pumping. I can't make calm decisions after witnessing something like that firsthand. That's how humans are, after all. We're not as special as we'd like to believe. At the end of the day, we're nothing but dirty slime-like flesh. And what could only be described as the worst metaphor in human existence. That's how we humans are. While wallowing in a bit of angst, I begin to type on my phone. And there's Rintaro sending a message to Daru. Someone stabbed Makase Kurisu. Looked bad. Hope she's okay. But we don't know who killed her. I don't know if she was stabbed. That just seems like the most logical explanation, given the amount of blood and the absence of a gunshot. On the other hand, I didn't write that she was dead, even though I'm pretty sure she was. I can't exactly explain why I didn't. If I had to say, I guess I felt like writing it down would have set it in stone. It might make me feel guilty as well. The thought brings a smirk to my face. It's not like I'm the one who killed her. Why should I feel guilty? I just saw someone's death up close and only a few minutes later I'm smiling. Am I really that cruel and cold? Well, I am a fiendish mad scientist, so it suits me. I finished typing and placed my thumb over the send button. And then I pressed down. Sending mail. Hopefully Daru gets this. Something's happening. And in that brief moment of a second, we've experienced a strange phenomenon of sorts. What was that? Wait a minute. Look around. Something is wrong with this picture here. They're gone. Just 5 seconds ago, this place was crowded, and now it appears that Akihabara is a ghost town. Summer break, noon, the busiest street in town. Just now, thousands of pedestrians vanished into thin air. Is this a dream? Am I hallucinating? I don't know. But they're gone. I saw them vanish with my own 2 eyes. I stand petrified, speechless, and alone on the empty street. Desperate to find someone, anyone, I look up. And there's the Radai-kun building, and at the top, sticking out from the 8th floor event hall where we just were, is a crashed satellite. I don't know about you, but something clearly happened. Chapter 1 Time Travel Paranoia.
おい、そこの貴様。俺たちが見えているか？
Seems strange to me, but it seems like Rintaro actually seems to be breaking the fourth wall here.
なぜ何も答えない？貴様に聞いているんだぞ。モニターのそっち側にいる貴様にだ。
We appear to be in somewhat of a looking glass situation of sorts. Also, before I continue, I will have to say about that, the proper introduction to Steins Gate that you just saw moments ago. I like the Steins Gate anime intro. I think it's pretty classic. But that intro right there, the proper intro to the Steins Gate visual novel, is probably one of the best intros I've ever seen in my life. But we're basically ignoring Rintaro. And apparently he can't hear us, even though I have a microphone.
俺たちはテレビのモニターの中にいるように見えるだろうな。だがそれは大きな間違いだ。
Well, he's not incorrect that from my perspective, they are the ones indeed inside the monitor of my laptop, but we appear to be having a kind of looking glass matrix moment of sorts. And there's Mayuri sitting in the background, and a bulky looking man, who I can only assume is Rintaro's man and compatriot Daru.
モニターの中にいるのは貴様なのだよ。貴様が現実だと思っているその世界は実はすべて虚構。もちろん貴様自身もな。
And we get some real mind-blowing reality bending here.
真の現実、それはこちら側にある。
That could very well be debatable, Rintaro.
自分が何を指摘されているのかすら分かっていないか。無理もない。
I think I can hear Jack Nicholson screaming from the other side of the globe.
まあいい。貴様には分かりやすく、俺たちのことについて説明してやろうではないか。
Please do.
まず、俺たちがいるのはどこかということだ。ここは東京、秋葉原にある未来ガジェット研究所だ。俺たちは普段ラボと呼んでいる。世界の支配構造を作り変えるという我が野望の拠点だな。
Well, we learn two things. First of all, that Rintaro belongs to something that he calls the Future Gadget Laboratory, which appears to be composed of himself, Mayuri, and Daru. And also, the second thing is that I finally know how to pronounce Akihabara properly this time. And apparently the purpose of the Future Gadget Laboratory is to shatter the system, and according to Rintaro, plunge the world into chaos. The system is but the means by which the organization maintains its grip on reality. So basically, a vast conspiracy theory here and there.
そうなんだ。悪いことしちゃダメなんだよ、オカリン。
And I think you should probably take her advice, even though you are a self-proclaimed insane mad scientist.
まあ入りは少し黙っていろ。
As
駅
you've
から出
pointed
たら
out.
中央通りを進み、末広町駅の交差点を蔵前橋通りへ左折。次の信号の一歩手前の路地を入ると、大檜山ビルという古臭い雑居ビルがある。その2階に我がラボは今日構えている。
And for some reason you are giving the directions to the Future Gadget Laboratory to a complete stranger. Good job, Rintaro. Good
目
job.
印はビル1階にあるブラウン管工房という マニアックなテナントだな。
Brawn Tube Workshop. I believe we saw that in the intro, filled with television screens.
今時旧式のブラウン管テレビだけを扱っているショップだ。いかに電気街である秋葉原といえども需要があるとは思えない。寂れた店なのだ。
CRT monitors, eh? Well, to be fair, this is actually the first time I've ever heard of CRT TVs.
だ
But
が
I guess they're outdated.
ブラウン管工房店長である天王寺というおっさんはこのビルのオーナーでもある。
So apparently the future Gadget laboratory is, in the hands of Mr. Tenuji of the Brawn Tube Workshop.
今や急ピッチで都市開発が進み、しかも高騰しているこの秋葉原であろうと道楽丸出しの店を構えていられるというわけだ。
I believe we'll be running into him at some
幸いに
point.
もあの店長は人を見る目はあるようでな。この俺のカリスマ性を見抜き、ビル2階を丸々ワンフロアただ同然で貸してくれたのだ。ふわっ
Certainly a crowning achievement there.
未来ガジェット研究所は深刻な人材不足のため優秀な研究員を随時募集中だ。今のところ所属研究員は
オカリンオカリン、そこはラボメンって言わなきゃ。所属研究員じゃなくて
ラボメン、すなわちラボラトリーメンバーは俺を含めて3人である。ラボメンナンバー001、ラボ創設者にして狂気のマッドサイエンティストであるこの俺、法院京馬。
オカリンって呼び方の方が可愛いのに。
And typical Mayuri.
そしてコスプレが趣味のこう一点、ラボメンナンバー002、椎名真由里。
てってれー、マユシーです。着るんじゃなくて作るのが趣味だよ。
So Mayushi enjoys making costumes for cosplay. Fair enough.
最後にスーパーハカー、ラボメンナンバー003、橋田至だ。
スーパーハカーって呼ぶなよ。スーパーハッカーだろ、上皇。
I believe in the anime, Rentaro just calls Daru hack. By the way, Hashida Itaru is the full extension of Daru. Daru is the
そんな我々3
abbreviation.
人で構成される
Courtesy of
未
Mayuri.
来ガジェット研究所の活動内容はそのものズバリ発明である。詳細は我がラボのホームページを見てくれ。もちろん闇の支配権力と戦うための未来ガジェットが最優先事項だが、その研究から派生する副産物的な発明も多い。というか今のところはそっちばかりだ。
So apparently the future Gadget laboratory is not only with war with the organization, but the dark dominion of...
すでに我々は8つの未来ガジェットを完成させた。だがこれはまだ序章でしかない。未来ガジェットのアイデアは俺の中に108まであるのだ。
So you've made 8 inventions, also known as future gadgets, and you plan to make 100 more.
某テニス漫画みたいにですね。わかります。
And Daru mentioned something
人
completely
の煩悩の
different.
数といえ、このアットチャンネルの目。
Now notice that the word A channel is in bold there. A channel is basically Twitter or Facebook here in
それだ。
Steins.
俺が話しているのだから口出しをするなと言っているだろ。
Basically it's social media.
そもそもオカリン、さっきからなんで独り言喋ってんの？
独り言ではない。見てわからないのか。俺は今モニターの向こうにいるこいつに話しかけているのだ。
Well, you can't deny that fact, seeing as how I'm talking to myself with a microphone in the form of a let's play, talking to them, and I'm also talking to you, the audience, so perspective.
あ、今その人にやりって笑った。
You saw nothing, Mayuri. I'm not smiling.
おのれ貴様、何を笑っているのか。モニターの中の存在のくせに。
こっちみんなって言ってやれば。
通じないんじゃないかな。
俺たちに話しかけられていることにすら気づいていないらしいな。自覚がないというのは実に不幸なことだ。
その人にしてみたらマユシーたちがゲームみたいに見えてるのかな。
That could very well be the case, Mayuri.
そいつには現実なのかゲームなのかっていう発想さえないんじゃね。
じゃあ
That too is a
ダ
distinct
ル君の大
possibility.
好きな二次元の女の子たちもそうなの？
それは別。あの子たちは僕の嫁だから。
誰の嫁の話はどうでもいい。
でもさ、マユシの言ったことって興味深いテーマじゃん。もし仮に僕たちがゲームの中の住人だとしたら、それを見極める術はあると思う？
And interesting self-reflection there from Daru, of all
ない
people.
な。
But Rintaro
そっとかよ。
suits it all down.
故にそのような議論は不毛。世界の支配構造を打ち砕く方法について考える方がよほど有意義だ。
中二病、オツ。
And Rintaro steps back from the monitor. And by the way, plot twist, he wasn't actually talking to us, he was actually talking to a game within the game by the name of Alpaca Man. He wasn't actually talking to me, or you for that matter. The game is called Alpaca Man 2, where you speak to Alpaca Man via microphone and watch him react. The game exploded in popularity when it was released 10 years ago, but personally, I find the ugly part of Ugly Cute to be true. I bought it yesterday, 500 yen, headset included. Seems like a pretty simple yet dull looking game if I do say so myself. I turned to Daru with a menacing glare.
黙れスーパーハカ。俺は中二病ではない。
Now if we look at the tips list here, well, there's the thing, alpaca, but if we go into all this, which is a lot of, yeah, there are a lot of tips that I've looked at. Anyway, pause the video, Junibio, and I just keep breaking my promise to never look at the tips list ever again. But basically, Rintaro is not entirely as he seems, but of course, you viewers should have been smart enough to figure that out by now.
おーい。今日まだ。
そういう設定っしょ。
やれやれ。誰の人とのコミュニケーションの取れなさはどれだけ経ってもな。
アニメのオフ会じゃ僕がいつも場を盛り上げてるっつうの。
This person, I'm not going to say that as Rintaro, is my brother-in-arms and right-hand man, Hashida Itaru, nicknamed Daru, as I just mentioned. Although for some reason, instead of, unlike Rintaro and Mayushi's nicknames, Daru is actually taken from the end of his name, which is an interesting difference, I should say. He's a hardcore otaku. You can always find him in front of the computer, playing games and watching anime, like most people. And I'm not going to comment about his moe habits. I refuse to do that. He's a reliable and skilled partner who brings my ideas to fruition. Despite his insistence that software is his forte, he shows remarkable aptitude with hardware as well. And he's standing there looking bored as hell.
首に刺さった。
And a moment of sympathy there for Mayuri, who has pricked her finger with the needle while making a costume, and she is not very happy at all. A 16-year-old high school student, if you can believe it. I've known her since we were small. She's also an otaku, nowhere near Daru's level though. This girl is in charge of the lab's official costume division for women, and today she's working on costumes at her usual leisurely pace. Why does the future Gadget laboratory need costumes? It doesn't. She's just basically there because Rintaro wants her to be there. There is no way I would ever kick her out. After all, she was the first one to join the future Gadget laboratory. I remember the day that Mayuri first came to the lab. It was spring. She said to me, or rather Rintaro, even though I'm reading for him,
マユシーはオカリンの人質だからここにいようと思います。
So apparently, Rintaro kidnapped Mayushi for some reason, and she's been a lab member ever since. Well, that certainly was cryptic, but her offer was my salvation, for she was the first to join me on my magnificent quest. She saved me from a solitary life on the run from the organization. I'll never forget her kindness. Mayuri doesn't have to be useful, her being here is enough. Even though you constantly exploit
で
that
オカリン
kindness,
アル
I
パカ
might
マンは
add.
反応したん？
いや全然。
Pac-Man was unresponsive, and continues to be unresponsive. So unresponsive you'd think the game was bugged. Whatever, I give up. I'm not going to make that joke. I've refused to make that joke. Those of you who know the joke will understand. Never again will I play this boring game.
この不愛想アルパカめが。
Damn antisocial alpaca. You need to ask it the right questions, Rintaro. I believe that's how it works. I curse his name and smack the TV. As soon as I do... The TV makes a sound like it's shorted, and then the screen goes blank. Well, great. You just broke the television. Good job, Rintaro. I changed the channel, nothing. Check the power cable, nothing. Rack it again, no response. I guess it's broken. This TV is on lease from the Bronze Shoe workshop. It's probably just old. Which would explain a lot.
アルパカさんが怒っちゃったんだよ。
後で修理できるか聞きに行かなければ。
That'd probably be a good idea there, Rintaro. I turn off the TV and lie down on the couch. I'm fed up with the humidity of Japanese summers. I stare at a conspicuous stain on the ceiling while fanning myself. I close my eyes, and what naturally comes to mind is that impossible scene I saw an hour ago. I was going to mention that since we apparently have jumped to a change of scene here. And there once again, well, the empty city of Akihabara. As I left Radai-Khan, everyone vanished before my eyes. I couldn't explain it. And it wasn't just the people on the street. The people in the stores, gone. And the restaurants, gone. Even the cars vanished, drivers and all. And it all happened in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, an empty city spread out before me. I could still hear the music from the stores, but those catchy melodies were the only sounds of life remaining. Heat was rising from the asphalt in waves, but I only felt a cold chill down my spine. I just stood there, breathless, until...
どうかした？
For some reason, Mayuri is in the street with us. Mayuri's voice brought me back to reality. Mayuri hadn't disappeared, which is good. She was right there looking at me with questioning eyes.
今人が消えたよな。消えただろ今目の前で。
Panic takes hold as the enormity of what had just happened struck me. Well, to be fair, we did receive a rather unusual phenomenon when we sent that text about Makase Kurisu being murdered. Unable to control myself, I grabbed Mayuri by her slender shoulders and shook her.
マユリも見たか？見たよな。
Something odd seems to be occurring. Mayuri doesn't seem to be aware of what has just transpired.
見てない。
見て。
Curiouser and curiouser, it would seem. I stopped shaking her and looked straight into her eyes. She returned my gaze with eyes clear as glass
見
marbles.
ていない。見ていないのか。だってついさっきまでここにはたくさんの人たちが歩いていたんだぞ。
歩いてたかな。
それに店員まで消えている。こんなことはいくらなんでもありえない。
For once, Rentaro, I would certainly agree with you. So we have two possible scenarios. Either some strange phenomenon has happened, or, well, we'll find out.
それは仕方ないと思うよ。
Her reply didn't make any sense.
とにかくね、最初からこの辺には誰もいなかったよ。あ、そっか。オカリンは幻を見てたんだね。
So there is possibility number 2. The fact that all of this was possibly part of the imagination of Rintaro. Given how active his imagination is, that's not much of a stretch. However, we do still have a problem on our
きっ
hands.
とこの暑さのせいだよ。トゥットゥルー。
How could she laugh at a time like this? I always thought she was a bit strange, but maybe her brain is actually broken. I realized that she couldn't help me. With nowhere else to turn, I looked up at the bright blue sky. There wasn't a cloud in sight. The scorching summer sun shone bright through the gaps between Akiba's buildings. Naturally, my eyes drifted to the top floor of Radaikan, where I'd just been a moment ago. I know I'm not reading that right, but I am going through this as quickly as possible. There it was, an enormous machine, like some kind of satellite, embedded in the roof of the building where not 5 minutes ago I'd found Makase Kurisu's body in a pool of blood. What happened to her? Just before everyone disappeared, I could have sworn I heard an ambulance siren. Makase Kurisu might still be in that dark, narrow passageway, cold, bloody, and alone. Ominous. That thought disturbed me, but the question at the forefront of my mind was, and the same one at my mind, no less.
あの人工衛星は一体なんだ。
Something is not right with this picture. Rintaro can see it, I can see it, and hopefully you can too. Right before Dr. Nakabashi's presentation, the building shook like a bomb had exploded. The roof door lock had been broken, and beyond it someone had placed a satellite machine shrouded in smoke and glowing dust. When I first saw it, the satellite was on the roof. But now, for some reason, it's embedded in the roof. Obliterating the room where Dr. Nakabashi's press conference had been held. So, must have fallen out of orbit without burning up in the atmosphere somehow, but that's impossible, because as we just said, it was sitting on the roof, but now it's in the roof, somehow. And it goes without saying, if it fell from orbit, it would have burned up in the Earth's atmosphere. I knew it was crazy, but what other explanation could there be? The real question was, when did that happen? It happened today, didn't it?
あの人工衛星だが。
びっくりしたね。
Or at least she knows about the satellite.
びっくりしただと。何がびっくりしたのだ。
ドカーンってすっごい音がしたもん。
A huge kaplow sound. It certainly did make a sound, but I don't think it was kaplow. I'd say it was more zzz, like lightning.
あの人工衛星は落ちてきたのか。
来たのかな。宇宙人さん乗ってるのかな。
And Mayuri is already thinking about extraterrestrials. But then again, given what has just transpired, I suppose anything is possible at this point. Had I lost my mind? What I had seen didn't match at all with what Mayuri was saying. Suddenly nothing seemed real. Had I dreamed it all?
そこの君たち
And there is another person. A police officer. Apparently he is
ここで何をやってるんだ
keeping the street
こ
off
こらは今
limits.
立ち入り禁止だすぐに出て行きなさい
Possibly because of the satellite in question.
ごめんなさい。
Which could explain why there are no people at the moment, but it doesn't really explain where they all disappeared to. Or maybe they were never real to begin
そ
with.
れより制服警官さん、仮にあなたを警官 A と名付けるが、一つ聞きたいことがあるんです。
And Rintaro, in usual fashion, calls the policeman Officer A because why not?
警官 A って
And apparently Officer A doesn't like his new moniker.
今ここで
For
数千人の通行人が一瞬で消えたんです。あなたも見ましたよね。
見ていないいいから早く出て行け
The officer seems to corroborate Mayuri's story and not ours. This is rather despondent. Well, this is rather disturbing, and Rintaro is despondent. I'm mixing my metaphors and stuff. I was quickly losing confidence in my own memories. I decided to tell him about Marcuse Kurisu and get him to call an ambulance, but before I could,
さっきから何をバカなことばかり言っているんだ
the policeman took me by the upper arm and said, "No one got stabbed at Right Icon." How could he say that with such certainty? While I was still trying to comprehend the situation, the policeman forcefully led us away. We were escorted up to UPX and released. There were people up at UPX like usual. Actually, there were far more people than usual. The place was packed. Just as Officer A had said, Chuodori had been blockaded by police so no one could enter. There was nothing we could do, so we headed back to the lab. And that brings us to the present situation. I'm baffled. Did the whole hour since the beginning of Nakabashi's presentation really happen? I check online for any news. The net is buzzing about the mysterious machine that crashed into Radicon. All the major stations in Tokyo, even Toad TV, are running special bulletins about it. Fortunately, it doesn't look like anyone was hurt, but Chuodori is still closed off. Akihabara Station is jammed with reporters and curious onlookers. Nobody has mentioned anything about the disappearance of thousands of people from Akiba's streets, nor about Makase Kurisu's murder. It's all a mystery. Indeed it is.
そうか。そういうことか。
And Rintaro has apparently been enlightened with an epiphany of sorts. From the sofa I spring to my feet, a wide grin on my face. Daru and Mayuri turn and stare, with rather incredulous expressions.
これもすべて機関の隠蔽工作ということだな。警察にすら圧力をかけられるということは、この国の中枢ももはや奴らの手の内にあるということ。なんということだ。
That is indeed very elaborate there, Rintaro, although we still have too many unknowns left unexplained at this point, so we can't really draw any
俺の目はごま
conclusions.
かせんぞ。いつか必ず奴らの所業を暴き、その支配構造に終止符を打ってやる。
Having come to a satisfactory conclusion, I take a celebratory bottle of Dr. P, my favorite soda, from the fridge. That is in fact Dr. Pepper, or Dr. People in the anime, which is a rather interesting change, but it is in fact Dr. Pepper. I've actually tried it. It's actually pretty good. The lab has no air conditioning. Ice-cold drinks are essential. Won't argue that
のドクターペッパーは相変わらず最高にうまいな。
コーラの方がよくね？
And Daru likes
オ
Coca-Cola.
カリンは本当にドクターペッパーさんが大好きだよね。
この知的飲料の良さがわからないやつは人生の5分の1を損しているぞ。
Oh, you don't have to pity me, Rintaro, because I do know the greatness of that beverage. But I also like cola as well, so... nah. Step through the curtain dividing its center and you'll enter the heart of the future Gadget laboratory, the development room. Just as the name implies, this is the room where we develop future gadgets. Needless to say, it is strictly off-limit to outsiders. Yes, I know the setup is cheap. I would much rather have an airlock than a curtain, but our research budget is already scraping the bottom of the barrel. Besides, what's important isn't money, it's ambition. I poke Daru and bid him follow me into the development room, as you can see here. All the windows here are weather stripped with packing tape so it's dim. And hot, almost like a sauna. Due to the fact that there's absolutely no air conditioning, there is a really paltry looking fan up there, and a lot of gadgets and junk lying around all over the place. And they have no money for air conditioning, so they're currently accepting donations. Maybe they should consider trying Patreon. Upon entering the development room, I pick up the lab coat that's lazily draped on the chair and put it on, because every scientist should have a lab coat. For practical reasons as well as symbolic ones. Daru, however, refuses to wear his. That's because he's a hacker and a computer otaku, not a scientist. Or a doctor for that matter. Putting it on and taking it off is apparently too much trouble for him. He can't be bothered to do anything that doesn't interest him. It's men like him who give our generation a bad name. His lab coat, purchased from my own pocket money, I might add, just sits on the shelf. It's never worn, and probably never will be.
計画は順調に推移しているか？
The plan. What is the plan?
計画って何ぞ？
What plan, indeed. Ah, so that is the plan. Sitting majestically on top of the table is a large commercial-grade microwave oven. It's significantly larger than newer home models.
計画は計画だ。8号機の調整以外に何があるというのか。
Gadget number 8. The plan that we shall plan around their plans, and they in turn shall plan around the plans that we are planning around their plans, or something like that. They in turn shall plan around our plans that we are planning. Not quite worded right, but anyone who gets the reference will obviously know what I'm talking about there, even if I am talking absolute nonsense, which I usually do.
ああ、そのこと。いきなり計画とか言うから何事かと思った。
そろそろお前との付き合いも3年半ほどになる。
Apparently they've been acquainted for 3 years, Rintaro and Daru. And they're going to university, surprisingly enough. He's only been a lab member for 2 months.
高2の
however.
時はクラス別でほとんど喋んなかったじゃん。だから実質2年半じゃね？
Yeah, Daru punctures that bubble quite
細か
quickly,
い
I'm
ことはどう
afraid.
でもいい。それほどの付き合いの長さなのだから、いい加減俺の会話についてこられるようになってくれ。
I don't think it works like that, Rintaro.
それは無理。
NOPE for the win. Awkward silence. All I wanted to do was have one of those cool cryptic conversations where we talk about plans and preparations and other important sounding stuff, but no one knows what it means except us. Shot down again.
それで
Commiserations.
8号機の不調の原因究明は進んだか？
いやまだ。
What's so special about gadget number 8? I wonder. So far, 8 gadgets have been completed, as mentioned by Rintaro to Alpaca Man. And he's just recapping what he's told us before about the organization and the Dark Dominion, not Dimension. At present, we haven't completed any inventions of that sort. On the contrary, we haven't even figured out what we should make. But along the way, we have managed to create some ingenious future-ish gadgets as a byproduct of our research. And there is the homepage of the Future Gadget Lab. Apparently, it only has 328 views, if this website is to be believed. It's a pretty straightforward website of sorts. It has top page, about lab, future gadgets, Phoenix BBS, which is I believe the forum, and a link. Unfortunately, we cannot interact with this in any way, shape or form whatsoever, which is rather disappointing. It is a fundamental truth of science that great inventions are often created by accident. In other words, serendipity. Gadget number 1, the particle bit gun. Gadget number 2, the bamboo helicam. Gadget number 3, could this be Aura Aura? Which apparently is a lie detector related to a real-life anime manga. Gadget number 4, Mode Stake. I believe that is a Metal Gear Solid reference, and indeed, I was correct. I do believe that the gadgets number 1 and 2 are fairly self-explanatory. Gadget number 5. Once again, I've made a worthless object by Goemon. I have no idea what these are referencing whatsoever, and I have absolutely no idea what this Lupin's the Third anime is. Do I look like an otaku to you? I do not, because you cannot see me. Gadget number 6, the Siloom Saber. This one I do know the reference of. Spark Wars. Seriously, Wintaro? Seriously? Gadget number 7, Ghost in the Ball. They can all be seen on the website Daru made, so feast your eyes upon the product of a mad scientist's genius, even though we have absolutely no picture of any of the 7 gadgets whatsoever. Anyway, our current problem is future gadget number 8, the phone wave. Name subject to change. TBA in the anime dub. Phone wave is a pretty weak name, so we've added TBA because name subject to change is too long to say in conversation, to the end until we come up with something better. For the record, it was Mayuri's idea, not mine, to add the phone wave. Not the TBA, because that was Rintaro. When a future gadget is completed, the 3 of us discuss what to name it. And there is actually the Dr. People, which isn't just in the anime. That is actually the altered Dr. Pepper logo right there. And as I said before, it is a pretty good drink, if I do say so myself. Rintaro prefers names based on mythology, Norse mythology I might add, or names with hidden meanings that need extra explanation to understand. Daru thinks my naming system is too ridiculous. He just doesn't have passion for words like I do. Mayuri can't be bothered to remember difficult names. She says they don't fit in her head. And so, our opinions on gadget names are always split. But I digress. The phone wave, TBA, is in short a remote-controlled microwave. You put food into the microwave before you leave and then on your way back, call the attached cell phone to start the heating process. Voila! Hot food ready for your arrival. That is actually pretty nifty. And I think this niche here is probably where a cell phone would be installed. So basically it's a piece of junk. It's a useful piece of junk if I do say so myself. However, a few days ago we discovered that the PhoneWave TBA has a second unintended capability. A brave or possibly just ditzy Mayuri made it a daily routine to reheat some frozen fried chicken by remote control. Long story short, she was defrosting her beloved juicy chicken number 1 as usual when the unexpected happened. The chicken came out more frozen than when she put it in. The microwave refroze the chicken. I take it back. I think your future gadget number 8 is somewhat broken. I think it needs fixing. Since then, Daru and I have been searching for the cause.
マユシがやった状況を再現して何度も実験したけど、冷凍できたりできなかったりだし、バナナを冷凍してみようとしたらさらにへんてこなことになったし。
So they tried experimenting with food, and strange things kept happening. Daru, now completely fed up with the heat, starts fanning himself with his shirt. I know what he means by really weird. Let's see if we can't make it happen again.
マユリマユリここにバナナを持て
And apparently they're experimenting with bananas.
またゲルバナ作るの？
前から気になってたけどさ、マユシ。ゲルバナって略さないでくんない？
And Mayuri doesn't seem to approve of our
だ
experiment.
ってね、ゲルバナはゲルバナだもん。
So apparently the microwave refreezes the chicken but turns the bananas into something else. So basically they're going to try and reproduce that
一房
phenomenon.
丸ごと入れるの？もったいないよ。
I have to agree with Mayuri here. Turning a whole bunch of bananas into gel bananas, which is kind of strange to say. Why?
ケチケチしていては
Is indeed a waste of
機関
food.
との戦いに勝利することなどできんぞ
勝たなくてもいいよ。あのね、バナナはマユシーが買ってきてるんだからね。おかげでマユシーはちっともバナナが食べられません。
I believe Mayushi does have a point there, Rentaro. Also, she is not a happy panda at this point.
次から
Not
は
happy at all.
1本ずつ使うことも検討しておこう
And unfortunately, he's already put the whole bunch in. Which is unfortunate. The phone wave is simple to use. Now this icon here is important. This wave icon here is actually a key part of Steins' main mechanic, because if you noticed up until now, the date on the left hand corner here, 28th of July, Wednesday. This is the phone, which we will use to connect with the phone wave, TBA. Now we can do 4 things on this phone. We can look at our mailbox, we can call an address, can't really do anything on the internet, and we can change the settings, the wallpaper, the ringtone, and the mail. Why do you have 2 ringtones? One for the phone and one for the mail? That's a bit weird. But maybe that's just me. And in the address book are 5 addresses: Daru, Mayushi, 2 people we haven't met, Ferris and Lukiko, or Rukiko, because of course L in Japanese is R. It makes sense. And finally the last one is for the phone wave. So this is how we remote control the phone wave TBA with the cell phone. Like so, we're connected.
RENG こちらは電話レンジ（仮）です。
And it's Mayuri's voice. This is the voice of Mayushi Guidance, the system Daru programmed to operate the phone wave TBA.
マユシーの声聞こえてきた？
Yes, we do indeed.
少し黙れ。マユシーガイダンスが聞こえなくなる。
And Rentaru
こちらか
made
ら
Mayushi
タイマ
sad.
ー操作ができます。シャープボタンを押した後、温めたい秒数をプッシュしてください。例えば1分ならシャープ60。
So basically, Mayushi Guidance is telling us how to use the input on the cell phone to connect with the microwave.
2分ならシャープ120。
So for example, as she was just saying, you press the hashtag and 60 for 1 minute and 120 for 2 minutes. Entering the command properly will cause the phone wave TBA to function like a normal microwave. Instead, we're going to deliberately mess up and enter it backwards. Now, if you don't do this, you actually get a somewhat minor achievement. If you type it in normally 10 times, you get an achievement called Home Run Clumsiness. But we're not going to do that because I've already obtained that achievement off screen, so I'm going to do it the way Rentaro intends. So 120 and hashtag. That should do it. This method was originally a simple mistake on Mayuri's part, but it somehow starts the freezing process. The phone wave TBA comes to life. The turntable begins to rotate.
綺麗なターンテーブルだろう。普段と違って逆回転してるんだぜそれ。
So apparently it's moving counterclockwise.
何？逆回転？そこに重大な意味があるかもしれない。漁師の振る舞いにも影響してくる問題であり、奮闘の規則を導入して。
May very well do, Rentaro, or probably not.
ないか。
ないね。
そうか。
Could very well have some meaning, though. The three of us wait and stare at the spinning bananas. After 2 minutes pass, the microwave chimes. Mayuri takes the bananas out.
ゲルバナの出来上がり。
I really think that they should be called gel nanas instead of gel banas. Why is it gel banas, actually? I agree with Rentaro and Daru here. Gel banas is... I apologize for being a grammar Nazi, but it just doesn't... Never mind. We'll just let it go. Anyway, gel nanas... Gelatinous blobs covered with a thin membrane. I don't think that's freezing. Freezing does not do that. After Mayuri discovered that the phone wave TBA had a freezing function, we attempted to freeze a bunch of bananas. This is what happened. It just gets more confusing each time.
ダルよ。このバナナ、食べてみようとは思わないか思うはずだ。我らの理念達成の犠牲となり散ったダルに敬礼。
I believe that's Rentaro's Dr. Insano, inner Dr. Insano, rearing his ugly head. I don't think anyone should eat those bananas.
味は関係ない。
Not in the
食べる
state
こと
they're
に意
in.
味があるのだ。さあダルよ、遠慮することはない。骨は拾ってやるから思い切ってズズイと行くがいい。
いらね。
No.
ではもゆり、
Shot down.
お前にその名誉を譲ろう。
なんかね、ゲルバナは中身がデロデロでブニュブニュだったよ。
Yeah, they're not very nice. She already tried one. The expression on her face is all the answer I
味もし
need.
ないし、全然美味しくなかった。
No surprise they weren't tasty.
デロデロでブニュブニュか。ダルよ、どう思う？
I think nobody should eat gel nanas.
ブニュブニュバナナか。ブニュブニュのバナナ。マユシ、あなたのバナナブニュブニュだねって言ってみて。
And of course, Daru goes into one of his own personal idiosyncrasies at this
ダル
point.
くんダルくん、鼻血出てる。
Yeah, you should probably have that checked out. Better yet, get a tissue, man.
いいから言ってみてください。お願いします。
あなたのバナナブニュブ。
言わせるな手の額。
Daru retreats after I hit him with a tissue box, which she almost certainly deserved. Mayuri looks at us with an innocent smile. She doesn't get it, obviously. Anyway, moving on.
ゲル状になったということは反固形。すなわち分子同士の結びつきが弱くなっている可能性がある。
It is a distinct possibility, because something clearly happened to those bananas. What could have partially liquefied them?
そうか、わかったぞ。
Apparently Rintaro has an answer. I turn to the whiteboard and write freezing in the middle. Then I cross it out and slap the board with my hand.
俺たちは冷凍機能だと思い込んでいたが、実は違ったのだよ。
I believe that's stating the obvious right there. Why isn't anyone
So,
surprised? Well, we knew that.
なんだってと叫ぶがいい。ここは叫ぶところだ。
I think we already figured that out.
冷凍機能じゃないのは分かってるっつーの。
Yeah. Daru's preaching the choir on that one.
問題は、じゃあこの機能って何ぞ？何が起きてんの？ってことじゃん。
That is true. We don't know the cause.
冷
Why
凍
the
の
bananas
逆な
turn
の
out that way thanks to the
解
microwave.
凍じゃないのかな。
No. Close but no
実に
cigar
愚
there,
鈍な意見だな、
Mayuri.
マユリ。それでは普通の電子レンジと同じではないか。
Yeah, a microwave would tend to
じゃ
heat
あ
them
どうい
rather
うこ
than
と？
freeze them. So something is
そ
clearly
れが
happening
分かん
to
な
the
いから悩んで
bananas.
るんだお。
Strange phenomenon that is causing them to turn into what they are. But we have no clues thus far. In any case, there's nothing we can do about it now. It's time for us to head to Daiburu, sorry. And I believe with that change of scene and pace, it's time to end the episode. That was much longer than I originally intended it to be. But then again, this is a visual novel game, and they do tend to be quite lengthy in various parts. But anyway, I shall leave it here, adventurers, and I shall see you in the next episode. As always, until next we meet.